Welcome back to the Grand Solar Minimum channel. Today is Monday, July 1st, 2019. Folks, we're smack dab here in the middle of summer. As I said, here in the Northern Hemisphere. Decent show tonight to talk about a few things, but let's get right into it first here at the grandsolarminimum.com. Mari has taken the time to put all of the links that we refer to during the show tonight so you can vet this information out for yourself. Let's go ahead and take a look at our space weather right now. Our solar wind speeds are sitting at an even 369 kilometers per second with a density of 2.0. Taking a look at our sun, we are blank once again with 0 sunspots. This is the third day in a row now, making it 112 days without sunspots here in 2019. Also, looking at our TCI, it still continues to drop 3.37. So the TCI getting colder as we move across into summer months in the middle here in the Northern Hemisphere. We continue to see the TCI drop. Let's go to the space weather section here at grandsolarminimum.com, or the Grand Solar Minimum, I should say. Taking a look at our solar X-ray flux, our solar proton flux, very quiet, no action to report, no flares. Our KP indices have maxed out at 3, sitting at a 2 right now. So very, very quiet. There's our star again, no sunspots to speak of. I know we've got a couple of active regions here directly in the middle. Let's take a look first at this coronal hole. I'll use my arrow. That way everybody knows what I'm talking about here. Here we go. Large coronal hole that should be affecting Earth's magnetic field on July 4th or the 5th, probably early 5th of July. And then we have this little active region down here below the equatorial region kind of flare up, but nothing yet as far as a sunspot number or active region. Meanwhile, we just have active regions, no dark cores, no sunspots at the time to report coming around the bend from on the eastern limb of our star. And just taking a look at the big picture, the overall, folks. Very, very quiet sun, like we've been telling you here for the past couple of weeks. We did get interrupted of spotless days for just a day and a half. We had 2 weak sunspots. One, I don't even know if it really should have been counted, but it was. And then we had one that kind of stuck around for more than 36 hours. And since then, we are just now seeing coronal holes. A couple of developments, but nothing yet that we'll call it a sunspot. Taking a look at our TSI reading for June 26, 2019. My eyes deceive me here. I think we might have the wrong chart up.
That's the latest number I could find, Jake.
Yeah,
all the other ones were outdated, so you don't have to use it.
Yeah, we're going to skip this one. This is not the chart we usually use, but thank you for trying. I don't know what the deal is. We've had some issues with this site a couple different times where the information is not being reported. But as soon as we find out what is going on, we will update the TSI readings once we actually have that information. There's a live look at our lower 48 tonight. The action is going to be in Montana, South Dakota. Well, the southeast part of South Dakota is now action-free. Across western Kansas near Goodland and Norton, Kansas, into North Platte, Nebraska. So we'll get more into our local weather as we go into our broadcast. Let's go ahead and talk about some volcanoes and earthquakes. And Popo, once again, making some noise. Increased volcanic activity continues at Mexico's Popo volcano with 5 strong explosions and 169 exhalations of water vapor, gas, and ash in 24 hours. 2 explosions on the 29th at 1336 and 1509 were not visible due to weather conditions. 3 other explosions happened at 0052, 440, and 918 local time on June 30th, had moderate ash content. These were small ash columns here, guys. One was almost 5,000 feet. Another one was 3,300 feet. But someone mentioned in the chat before we went live talking about all the volcanoes that have erupted. Yulan, Manum, Merapi, Popo, The list goes on. Cinnabung, Agung. So we've had quite a few eruptions over the past 14 days, and especially here, it seems like I'm saying this every week, we continue to see an uptick in volcano activity every 7 days, it appears. I want to thank the watchers once again for reporting on this. All the details and stats of the geological summary will be available there. And let's go to another area that's been active, Vanuatu. A 6.0 earthquake. Now this happened on July 1st, today, off of Loganville, Vanuatu, 1713 UTC time. It was reported of a depth of about 70 miles, and EMSC is reporting at 5.9. The epicenter was located about 22.2 miles east of Loganville, and about 165 miles northwest of Port Vila. And I can say this, there's no damage, no structural, nothing. 152,000 people are estimated to feel light shaking, but that's it. Like I said, no injuries, no structural damage have been reported. Few people felt the light shaking of this earthquake, but nothing yet to report as far as any damages to property or structures. Also, want to mention as well, there were no tsunami warnings or anything of that sort. So the coast is clear, but just another 6.0 to add to the record books for, actually this will start off July, basically, with a 6.0 in that region. Total solar eclipse of July 2nd, 2019. A total solar eclipse will be visible on July 2nd, 2019 from South Pacific Chile and Argentina. The instant greatest eclipse takes place at 1922 UTC, 2.4 days before the moon reaches the perigee. During the eclipse, the sun is in a constellation Gemini. The syndonic month which the eclipse takes place has a brown lunation number of 1194. The eclipse belongs to Saros 127, is number 58 of 82 eclipses in the series. All eclipses in this series occurs at the moon's ascending node. The moon moves southward with respect to the node with each succeeding eclipse in the series, and gamma decreases. This is relatively long in total eclipse with a duration of the greatest eclipse of 4 minutes and 33 seconds and an eclipse magnitude of 1,000 or 1.059, NASA eclipse specialist Fred Epsnick noted. The next eclipse is a partial lunar eclipse this month on July 16th, 2019. And they are giving you how to see this live views from the one of the Chile telescopes presented without audio beginning at 1900 through 22 UTC. 1 hour program with live commentary in English from 20 to 21 UTC, and a 1 hour program with live commentary in Spanish from 20 to 21 UTC. NASA Television will also be carrying the English language program on its public channel. Good to know, folks. Both programs will feature updates from NASA's Parker Solar Probe and magnetospheric multi-scale missions. So I just got some new motivation to watch tomorrow. If those of you who have satellite or cable and you get the NASA channel, be sure to tune in. I'm sure there will be a live stream link available. So if anything, if we don't have that for you on the show, we'll make sure to provide that. So this will be an interesting eclipse, and very excited to hear about the updates from the Parker Solar Probe and the magnetic spheric multi-scale missions. So interesting stuff along to talk about while we're viewing this beautiful solar eclipse. And let's take a look at Tropical Storm Barbara. That's right, finally strengthened and expected to become a major hurricane. But hold on. July 1st, the center of Tropical Storm Barbara was located about 895 miles south-southwest of the southern tip of Baja California Peninsula. So this storm is way out there. It is expected to increase. And it's an impressive system. You can start to see the eye now forming just nicely Earlier today, it wasn't this well defined. Let me go ahead and zoom in a little bit, guys. You can see this image a little bit better. There you go. Earlier, we did not have an eye wall in this storm. Now, I saw the track for this, and what is expected is for this storm to continue to move to the northwest Pacific, but then start tracking back down towards the southwest before heading out straight due west before finally fizzling out. Or it could continue to churn as there is warmer waters in this region. But right now, they're not expecting this storm to have any kind of development to affect Hawaii. We might see some high surf, maybe some gusty winds, but right now, this is not projected to affect the islands of Hawaii at this time. So, and you know, that's what I keep doing, Mar.
What?
I'm just talking out loud for no reason, really. I keep figuring out why I lose my arrow, and I just figured it out. Because I don't know what I'm doing on this lovely software. I just, you know, Mario works so hard to get all these neat little things aside for me, and then this is the reason why. This is why we can't have nice things, Mari.
It's like when you give the kids toys.
This is why we can't have nice things.
In a day.
So I had the arrow up for a whole 12 minutes, and okay. Anyway, sorry guys. Self-rant there, but there we go. More pictures of Hurricane Barbara. That is a little bit more impressive view here. Let's zoom that in. This might be a little bit earlier, actually. The eye wall has not been fully developed in this image. All right, severe drought leaves 1.2 million in, 2.9 million acres of crop damage in Shandong, China. Severe drought is affecting East China's Shandong province, causing massive crop damage. The latest statistics show extensive damage of 2.9 million acres of crops from 1.6 million acres on June 18th. This accounts for 21.9% of the entire crop area in fields. This is pretty big. China talking about 21% of its crops in danger right now. An emergency response against the drought has been set up by the authorities in Shandong. And I wanted to bring this up tonight. Thanks again to Watchers.news. Because we talk a lot about China. I know I've heard other GSM presenters talk about China, about how they're going to be better prepared. And this is the test for them. Let's see if they are able to overcome these drought conditions. Here we have a farmer who is laying out irrigation into his fields or getting water to his crop. So let's see if their methods and their engineering is going to pay off for them this time around during this grand cycle. Because we can go back and bring up charts that shows famine that hit this area really hardcore during these grand cycle minimum. So again, link will be on our website. And boy, oh boy, was this one a doozy today. Phenomenal hail accumulations after massive hailstorm hits Guadalajara, Mexico. Good Lord. Guadalajara.
It's Monday, Jake. I'll let you off.
Looks like someone's got a case of the Mondays. An unusually strong hailstorm hit Guadalajara, one of Mexico's most popular cities, on June 30th, 2019, dumping massive amounts of hail and trapping vehicles in ice up to 1 to 2 meters high. This person here says, I've never seen such scenes in Guadalajara, state governor. These are never before seen natural phenomena. It's incredible. These are never before seen natural phenomena. It's incredible. Some streets transformed into rivers of dense moving hail, trapping drivers in their vehicles and forcing numerous rescue operations. While the average accumulations were 3 feet high, at least 6 neighborhoods accumulated 6 feet of hail. The worst affected are areas where Rancho Blanco in the industrial zone. Nearly 200 homes and businesses were reported damaged and at least 50 vehicles were swept away. There are no reports of casualties, but 2 people showed early signs of hypothermia. Yeah. So this was the scene we saw on Weather Channel all evening. And by the way, I love their They make you watch 3 hours of their program before they give you the how and the why. And I'll get into that here just in a second. So it's not a matter of if 6 feet of ice fell from the sky. We just reported that there was accumulations of 6 feet on the ground. Okay. Obviously, there was flash flooding and rain. And we also have seen, and I meant to have Mari to include this. I don't know if you did, babe. The Twitter, the atmospheric. Here it is. She does have it. There it is. Look at that. That's a girl. That a girl. All right. So this is the pictures that were seen right over Mexico right before this hail event. And if I had my arrow, I'd show you. But the image on the right side of your screen as we start this clip over, not that one, the one that develops, that's it right there. That's where we saw this explosion of moisture that dropped heavy rain, buckets of rain, and large amounts of ice pellets. Right now, we're trying to find the exact amount that was actually fallen from the sky, folks. What's incredible about this, and a lot of people are forgetting about, is atmospheric compression mixed with cosmic rays and nitrous oxide. And all that interacting together is what gave us the amount of ice pellets that we saw from this atmospheric compression event. So whether or not we had 6 feet of ice that fell from the sky or just accumulated in the streets, the point is we've never seen anything like this before. And we all know those 3 ingredients I just talked about in the atmosphere all comes from grand solar minimum conditions in the atmosphere. That's the main point. That's what we're driving here. No, it's not climate change. It is a weather phenomenon. It is natural. And these things happen when the atmosphere has the right conditions, and it can happen at just of a snap of a finger, just like it did. This took no time to fall. So again, very serious situation, that far near the equator, that much ice pellets falling from the sky, that much cleanup. They had to get the National Guard in there to get bulldozers to scoop this stuff out of the road. Cars were buried, and the temperatures were 88 degrees Fahrenheit. Then people, write this one down, guys. When was the last time that somebody suffered signs or symptoms of hypothermia on an 88 degree Fahrenheit day? Write that one down. June 30th, 2019, that's when it happened. It's the only time it's happened. And another thing, Mari and I both did some extensive research today, and we cannot find any kind of indication that this hail event is normal by any means. Yes, it is a monsoon season in this region, but we've never seen anything like this before on record, ever. And even the Weather Channel tried to downplay this event by saying things like, well, everyone's got social media accounts and that's why we see so much nowadays. And, well, I don't think we've ever seen this kind of a accumulation of hail in one area. Whether it's 6 inches fell or 6 feet fell. Hell, if 6 inches fell, that's still scary. 6 inches of hail in Mexico? The conditions were just right. All right, guys, we're going to take a quick break. Don't go anywhere.
Do you like this show? Give us a thumbs up. Want to support us more? Share to your favorite social media platform. Buy a t-shirt or become a Patreon. All links are in the description below.